Hello, gardening fans, and welcome to August in Marvin's garden. Now, many people ask me, why do you always say Marvin Gardens? Well, I'll tell you. When I was growing up, we spent our summers at my grandparents' home in West Bridgewater, Massachusetts. And up there, they don't say Marvin, they say Marvin. And it just seems to fit. Marvin Gardens. So that's what I always say. Now you know. Anyway, it's August, and it is an absolutely gorgeous August day. It's really not typical of August. It's, I don't know, low to mid 80s, dry. So it's definitely not the dog days of summer. Actually, the dog days of summer, I think, officially ended on August 18th, and we're in the last half of August. So some things are pretty normal. In other words, Jesse digging, and Frankie's got what is very significant for August, a corn cob, because we are heavy into corn season, and we've been having a great corn season, and the pups have been enjoying it. In fact, here's a little clip I got to show you. Just recently taken of the pups and their special interest in corn. Helping ourselves to corn, are we? She stole one, Frankie. She stole one. Yes, it's corn season. I'll get you one, Frankie. I'll get you one. Here you go, boy. There you go. Now everybody's happy. Nothing like corn season. Hey, who doesn't like corn on the cob? I don't know anybody. Anyway, we typically start with chives, and we had another late bloomer in August. Very unusual to see blooms on the chives in August. Meanwhile, the cabbages, these cabbages are kind of weird. They're not really heading very much. You can see a little head on that one, but very small heads. But they're progressing okay, so I guess we're all right. The broccoli has been doing side shoots, and that's why they're still active here, is because I just come in every so often and harvest these side shoots and toss them into a stir fry, and they're still good, so I keep letting them go. Brussels sprouts, you can see that they're starting to form down here on these the official Brussels sprouts stand, and these are not quite harvestable yet, but they're getting close, as opposed to our other Brussels sprouts plants, which I will show you a little later. That's over by the kohlrabi, and it's doing much better. And we've been pulling lots of Brussels sprouts from it already. So who knows? Anyway, these are Aunt Molly's ground cherries, and as you can see, there are lots and lots of ground cherries. These guys really struggled at the beginning. Oh, there's a good ripe one right there. When they're yellow like that, that means they're ready. And Frankie usually comes over here and takes care of those. They're right at his level. He likes ground cherries. Anyway, you can see that they have come around just fine, and we have lots of ground cherries, which are mostly gardener's treats, meaning I just eat them out here and they never even make it into the kitchen. The eggplants, we've gotten a few eggplants. You can see that they're blooming, but you can see we haven't got any eggplants on here right now except for this one little one right down in here. And so although these guys have been growing okay, they haven't really been producing much in the way of eggplants. So I'm not sure what's going on with them. Our scarlet runner beans have recovered a little bit. You can see there's a nice runner bean right there, and there's some small ones coming in. But our yard longs never did recover. This is, I don't know what got to them, but they have. There's still some growth down here and some blooms threatening, but we haven't got anything out of them. Rattlesnake pole beans, on the other hand, have been doing just wonderful. I pulled a whole bunch of them last night for a vegetable stir fry, so I might not be able to find too many here for you to see, but trust me, they are doing very well, and we've pulled a lot. And in the lima bean category, and let me show you, this is a perfect stage to harvest lima beans. I don't know if I'm getting it to focus very well here, but when they're sort of yellow like this, they haven't turned brown and dried up. When you open these up, the beans inside will be large, fully formed, and perfect for consumption. So, these guys have been doing pretty well this year. We've already pulled quite a few lima beans, and we're going to get some more. So, that's pretty good. Here's a couple of nice rattlesnake beans right there. And there's a non-rattlesnake dachshund. And another one. Hey, Frankie. There's some ground cherries for you over there, boy, if you are so inclined. This is sweet potatoes, and you heard me last time say that they went in so late. I'm not really expecting sweet potatoes much, if anything, for harvest, but at least they're vining pretty well, so that's kind of nice. Here we have okra. These okras were just planted because I had extra plants. I mean, they're here because I have extra plants. They're doing pretty well. We've pulled a few. But that brings us to bed number 2 and the glory of Silver Queen corn, of which Jesse is trying to pick one right now. Jesse, I don't want you picking these. These are too good for people. We've had just lots and lots, dozens and dozens of Silver Queen corn. Nice, big, well-formed ears, no bugs. If I could peel one and hold the camera at the same time, I would. Maybe I'll try that. Let's see if I can do this here. Let me try from the other side. I can just yank this guy down. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay, can you see that? Yeah. Just not perfect at the top here, but you can see those full, lovely, perfectly formed rows, and they've all been like that this year. They're just very, very nice, and I've been consuming them as fast as I possibly can, and just a glorious time of year when the corn's coming in, and they are looking very expectantly because I'm going through the corn that I'm going to give them some, but I'm not right now because I'm doing the video. I got to do that first, then we can have some corn. Meanwhile, peanuts. Let me show you something. You remember last time I was telling you that the peanuts are supposed to send down shoots and the peanuts form underground. And I think, oh, Frankie, don't trample everything. Come on, watch out, boy. I think, boy, back, that this, I don't know if can you see this? These shoots coming down that go into the ground. Now, if we're lucky, there's peanuts down there forming. And there's another one right there. Here's one that hasn't made it into the ground yet, but I think that we might get a few peanuts, but I don't know for sure. Like I say, this is my first year trying these. The plants have looked okay all the way along, but I don't know if we're going to get anything out of them or not. Meanwhile, this is bed number 3, and across the way there are the 2 varieties of potatoes that were planted in a second round, because the first round was a total failure. This right here is a total weed. I'm going to get this out of here right now because I can't stand looking at it. I didn't even notice that before. He's out of here. Anyway, toss that out of here. Okay, Frankie, good boy. These guys are almost done, but they're not quite done. More weeds. My goodness, I should have cleaned this up before starting the video. You can see there's lots of green leaves still growing out of these potato plants. So I wait till they are thoroughly have died back before I harvest them. Now, in the meantime, this used to be the first planting of, oh, Jesse, you're just trampling everything. Okay. This was masquerade potatoes, and they were the ones that I bought as seed potatoes this year, and they did just fine. And now this is the beginning of our fall garden. This being broccoli right here, followed by a bunch of kohlrabi, which I enjoyed growing in the spring, so I thought I'd try it again. And this is a row of beets. Did terrible with the beets first time around because I interplanted them by mistake with carrots, so I thought I'd give them a second chance. And then I also am trying for the first time, oh, look at who stole a ear of corn. She's so proud of herself, she brought it right over here to show us. Anyway, if you look closely there, you can see these little shoots coming up. Those are scallions, bunching onions. And I don't know if I've ever tried them before, but I thought that was a good fall crop. And I had a couple of lettuce seedlings come up on their own late, so I've moved them over here. And then I've also seeded some lettuce and a row of radishes, which you can't see because I just planted them today. Meanwhile, Jesse is enjoying another ear of corn. Can't blame you. All right, this is the Brussels sprouts plant that I just planted at the end of this kohlrabi row. And you can see from all the vacancies down here that I've been harvesting quite a bit, and those are nice sized, very edible Brussels sprouts coming in. And this Brussels sprout plant is much taller than the others in the other beds, so you know, it's just interesting how differently the same plant will do with the same conditions, just in a different bed. Meanwhile, this last remaining kohlrabi is starting to grow now that it's got some space and looking pretty good. So, but we know that those guys can get really big before they need to be harvested, so we're going to let him go for a while. And that brings us to okra. These were the ones, the backup plants that I planted after the first ones had such trouble. They're all doing pretty well. Here's probably an okra that should have been harvested a long time ago, and it might be way too tough now that it's that big. But anyway, this is one of the original plants, the green colored plants. They're all having some problems here, both varieties, and I'm not sure what's hitting it that's causing those leaves to dry up like that, but they're still producing okay, so I guess we can at least take solace in that fact. Meanwhile, we got long Thai peppers here doing just great. I pick them, I wait till they're fiery red, and these are sweet peppers, but I've noticed that when I pick them at this stage, which is red, they can get hot. And I didn't think that was the case. I thought these were just sweet peppers through and through, but they get a little zingy if you let them get red like that. But they're great peppers. Meanwhile, these are Tequila Sunrise, which I love because of that bright orange color that they turn. And these have been producing steadily all season. These are Melrose, and I've just picked a bunch of them. I wait till they get really fiery red. They stay very mild, even though they're red. And we've had quite a few of those. And these are California Wonder, nice big blocky bells, as they say. You can see this one's starting to turn red. I like to wait until they turn completely red if if they make it that far. And but these have been pretty nicely producing this summer, so thumbs up for California Wonder. Tomatoes, we've been having a good tomato season. Frankie goes through at least a half dozen of the little tomatoes every time we come out here. Got a little spider making a web here. And Jessie also likes the small tomatoes, but she sometimes just likes to play with them more than eat them. Anyway, these are the variety called Delicious. They've been coming in very well. I've had bigger tomato harvests before, more prolific anyway, but these are doing just fine. And these Delicious variety have been coming in pretty good and not cracking too much. Amish Paste is the other variety here, the medium-sized variety, and they tend to have cracking on the tops there, and the watering has not been uneven, but they seem to be prone to this cracking. Still edible, still good, but I got to give them a couple demerits for all that scarring and cracking. Meanwhile, Juliet remains the family favorite around here, including Frankie, who, like I say, picks his own by the half dozen at least every time he comes out here. Although he prefers that I pick them for him, so I'll do him the pleasure right now since he's here. There you go, boy. And he's happy. He will suck that right down. All right, the summer squash is starting to look a little tired, but it's still producing, as you can tell by this zook right here, which is ready to be harvested. That crookneck is a little early, but we picked a nice big one yesterday and did a stir fry yesterday. And the third variety is these scallop squash, and they've been producing nicely all summer. There's another one hiding back there if I can get the leaves out of the way. So not a bad summer squash season. And this is candy corn, which Jessie's trying to help herself to right now, though that's not much of an ear for her. These have been doing okay, but the ears are much spottier than the Silver Queen, meaning that they're not always fully pollinated and they're kind of small, as are the plants. But they've been coming in okay. This one here, that's probably going to be a nice, a good eaten size, and feels pretty full, so that's not too bad. But we're winding down on corn season. Although you wouldn't know that from Jessie, because she's just picked herself another one. And that, in fact, that probably would have been a pretty good people-eating corn, but she's got it, so that's the way it goes. She enjoys it anyway. The last bed here in the garden proper, I've got this stand of sunflowers, and they are looking rather delightful, don't you think? That one too. Anyway, they're just growing just for fun. And then the rest of this bed is just all marigolds. Transplanted rows from volunteer marigolds that came up on their own, and I just moved them over to this bed just for nothing else than the fun of marigolds. Let's take a quick trip out to the exterior corn bed, which is also looking magnificent. Frankie is complaining because we've left him behind. Oh, there goes a rabbit. Anyway, we've got one variety of popcorn, two varieties of popcorn, and Indian corn here. And I don't know if you can see the number of ears that are in there, but they're just fantastic amount, and doing very well, and extremely tall. One of those is towering above all the others, and I can't wait to cut it down and measure it, because I know it's got to be close to, if not 15 feet tall. But anyway, you can see the number of ears that are in here. And the nice thing about this corn is you just let it go. There's no timing in the harvest, because you let it go as late as it possibly can. And we're coming, Frankie. Frankie, we do this every time, boy. You know? I mean, we come out here, I show them everything in the corn bed, and then I come back. It's not like I'm leaving you or anything. Look at Jessie, she's having some nice corn. All right. Poor tortured dachshund. All right, let me zoom back out here and try to get back in the fence. Make Frankie happy. Boy, good boy. See, I told you we were coming back. So I still have one leg outside the fence here. Okay. All right. I'm not going to take you out to the orchard. I will tell you that we had maybe half a dozen peaches or so. They were delicious. They always are. But not a big peaches year. Apples are going to be so-so. The pears, however, show quite a bit of promise. So we'll take a look at the pear tree next time, because as long as the deers don't go to it, I think we're going to have quite a few pears this year. So this is an on year for the pears. I've got one other clip I got to show you, because we had some distinguished guests to the garden in August. My sister Irene, her daughter Chelsea, and her granddaughter Skylar. And here's a real quick clip. Oh, and also the brand new puppy French Bulldog Fiona. Everybody's featured on this little short clip, just to show you the kind of fun we were having.
I will not steal any more of your delicious corn. That's enough. Oh yeah.
I'm happy to share it. And Jessie is hoping you'll share it with her.
Daddy, you want some too? Look at all this corn, guys. Are you videoing?
Yes.
Would you like to see my corn that I picked? It's quite a lot.
Fantabulous.
Can I have it for dinner?
Yes.
Exclusive Marvin's garden corn.
Yeah. Hey, what are you buying?
You can post on his website or whatever it's called.
I should. You know what? I should video and like respond it to one of your videos and be like, "This is my corn."
I got to have the real thing.
Right.
It was delicious.
So you can't beat that kind of fun for summer excitement here in August. And I think that's going to do it for us. August 2013, Marvin Gardens. Now you know the story behind that. And this is the beginning of the end, actually, for the gardening season. We kind of wind down from August, so but it's been a glorious August and a glorious summer, and lots of fun. So we will see you next month. Oh, I forgot to show you the potatoes. I just happened to walk by here. These are the potatoes I harvested this weekend. They're called Masquerade. And the reason I bought them was just because of that unique coloration, where they've got that, that bicolor pattern on them, which is very kind of neat. And these happen to be Kennebunks that wintered over from last year. So that's our first potato harvest. We got 2 more to go. These are the leftover seedlings for the fall garden. And glad I walked by here because I did want to show that to you. But that's going to do it. We're done. Thanks for sitting through it again. Marvin Gardens, August 2013. We'll see you in September. See you in September. Shut up, Marvin. Bye, y'all.